This is Morgan Bowman for Parables for Living. And this week, Jesus is asked the question, is it lawful or not to heal on the Sabbath? Now, most of us today would say, of course it's lawful to heal on the Sabbath. If you're sick or injured on a Saturday or Sunday, you still should be seen. You might have to go to the emergency room, but you expect someone to take care of you. Now, in Jesus' day, this situation was a little more complicated. And that's because, according to the Jewish tradition, the Sabbath had been set aside as a day of rest and a day to worship God. And in wrestling with what that really meant, they started to make all these rules to define exactly what was work and what was rest. So going to your job was obviously out. Plowing your field was a no. Cooking, well, that sounds like work. They even got to the point where they started putting limitations on the number of steps you could take and how far you could travel on the Sabbath. And so they got really wrapped up in these details. What is work? What is work? To the point that they kind of lost sight of what the real point of the Sabbath was. It was a day to honor God, a day to rest, a day to recharge and reconnect with Him. They got so crazy that they couldn't even see that Jesus healing a man, doing good in God's name, that was an act of praise and worship and honor. They were mad at Him for doing that because it was work, technically, according to them. And Jesus points out how crazy this is by giving them this example. Which of you, having only one sheep, and it falling into a pit on the Sabbath, would not lay hold of it and lift it out of the pit? How much more precious is a human being than a sheep? And it is really crazy that they would put more value on a sheep than a person. God tells us that we should love each other, that we should take care of each other. And so Jesus tells us that doing good is always lawful. It's lawful on the Sabbath. So my challenge for you is to think about your life. Are there places where you're getting so caught up in the details of the rules and the laws that it's keeping you from being fully compassionate toward your fellow human beings? Are you trying to stick too closely to the letter of the law, to the nitty-gritty, that you're losing the compassionate intent with which it's written? Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you again later. See you next time. Bye.